I want to just say to all of you that this is a great crowd, as good as any in America in the Republican or Democratic convention. And I want to ask you some questions. The first question is are you for democracy in Iran? Are you for regime change in Iran? Are you the democratic opposition that is going to do it? Are you for protecting the human rights of the people in Ashraf and Camp Liberty? Are you for delisting the MEK? So what we're doing here is standing for democratic change by the people of Iran and their organized resistance. So I want to tell you a little bit, because in my career, I've always had the view that it's important to negotiate with those that you disagree with. But with Iran, what we have reached again in Moscow at recent negotiations between the EU and the United States is Iran again is thumbing its nose at the international community because Iran wants to build nuclear weapons. So the time has come for all of us to recognize that these negotiations have not worked, that Iran continues to enrich nuclear fuel, that Iran continues to say in these negotiations that they are not going to suspend their uranium enrichment, that even though they said they were at 20%, that was just a stalling tactic. And so the next meeting of this negotiating group is in July, but it's low level because there was a recognition that we had reached an impasse. So negotiations with this regime have not worked. And what we need to do is look at alternatives. The alternatives are very broad. One of them, military intervention, I think is too uncertain. The other, continued sanctions, they may continue to work, but also it's uncertain. The good news is that the European Union, on July 1st, sanctions on oil are going to start. Let us thank the European Union for this very brave effort. And late in June, the United States will impose sanctions on Iranian banks, not just necessarily those of the Iranian central bank. So those sanctions have been biting. Those sanctions have made Iran recognize that the international community is against them. But the best alternative to change in Iran is what President-elect Rajavi said. What we need is a democratic opposition in Iran, and that is those in this hall.